of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think my legs are getting shorter.
Maybe somebody raised the chair up.
No, I think the truth of the matter is, gravely you're shrinking that way.
Okay. Talk, public comment, not in a minute. New update. Do we have any public comments? Now that we've gone to, not in a minute, new updates.
I don't, oh, go ahead.
Before we move on to that, can I just make sure that we have it officially in the minutes that John Wright is here at the invitation and supervision of Franklin? And I did already ask today to verify that.
Oh, now that this issue has been raised, Mr. Franklin, can I make a statement and a request on the banning order that we're talking about? I have not been able to, through all the research that I've been able to do, find original copy. I want to see the original banning order as it was signed, sealed, and recorded. And the only thing I can find is emails. Would you call for this to be brought forward, or I can personally examine it?
I'll talk with Corey, county attorney, and see what,
Thank you.
other than that, I don't know. Do you have any comment you make?
No, but I think it would be recorded right in Ann's office.
It's not.
Okay, Corey.
Okay, okay.
They only received an email for delivery, so did the judge, so did everybody else.
Okay, I'll, in like 2 days, I'll check with Corey and see what it is. Well, at least we got a little rain.
Oh,
Hope
thank
there's
the
supposed to be
good
more
Lord for
coming
that.
tomorrow, and is what they said.
We're supposed to go to 16 with 3 or 4 semi-loads of cattle tomorrow, and we're not gonna be able to get in if it keeps raining, but
But when you do get there, you'll have grass.
we'll have grass.
As long as you're not hay to hold it on. Yeah. Okay, bring it, I'll send it.
Montana Minute. I just have to say hats off to the 4-H Club at Winston. Their signs are up and people are doing it. You see them slowing it down and kind of going, oh, didn't know that was there. So I think hats off to those young kids that did that. It was a nice addition to our county
I
for
agree.
the safety of lots of people.
Mhm. I would also like to just thank everybody again for coming to and allowing us to thank them for County Day of Recognition. I talked to Sean Higley, our county engineer, who was here, and he was with the county before you and I, Elaine, when the county went through teasers coming in, some of the subdivisions that were very, very contentious, the misty years. And something he said really hit home with me. He said at all those meetings, first of all, I should step back. A joke with commissioners and other electeds is when things are going good, you don't hear from anybody. When there's a complaint, you hear from everybody and you hear from them loudly. So what Sean said is, with all those things where people were showing up and the commission was hearing from them loudly, something very positive we had, he said, easily twice the people. And I think that says a lot for our community and for where it's at, where it wants to go.
I had no idea there'd be that many people show. I didn't know what to expect. I just didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
But in all ages,
yeah, I thought that was
you
spectacular.
know, I mean, those young kids, and they were out serving, and
Yeah,
they did a great job.
they did, they did.
They
We
were
have some
nice
good
additions.
kids. Yeah, yeah.
And thanks for all the work you did on it.
And you,
You
yeah.
know,
It was a team effort, that's for sure.
And, you know, was it Rotary that got the tables and chairs? And that was nice.
It was the kids who made the poster. It was a Lion who was MC for the event. Everybody pitched in, and that's what's so cool.
And that's what makes it a nice community.
Absolutely,
Everybody helps.
yes. I do want to just say that I did speak with Morgan from Senator Daines's office, and she just didn't get the invitation until after the event. She called me, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. And that's when I said, well, how about we have Senator Daines as the guest speaker next year? So she said, we'll work on that. And Jeremy was here at a meeting. In fact, it was his idea to have the congressional delegation read letters, so I'm not sure, why he didn't send somebody. I wish he would have. So, all three were invited. So I just want to make sure that's known and out there.
Another year, I wonder if we need a mic.
We very much probably do, yeah.
You know, granted, there wasn't any wind, but if there'd been any wind, it would have been really hard to hear.
Every time a car went by, which
Yes.
happens a lot. Yeah,
So just kind of a FYI for next year.
yeah, absolutely. Catch some of those little details.
And I do have a one Montana minute. We graduated a very large class at the high school yesterday. Great awards.
How many?
I can't tell you right off the top, frankly. And tonight is the 8th grade graduation, and I have a grandson that's an 8th grader, and he's excited to go to high school.
Yeah, that age.
Yeah. But they're all going on, I forget how many scholarships, dollars of scholarships.
Over 400,000, I think it
Was
was.
it? Oh, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think it was just shy of 50.
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I graduated, there was like 32 of us, maybe. And now look at
I think we were 39.
Maria.
Was it 40? Okay.
299
Really? Where did you graduate from?
from high school in New Jersey, Watchung Hills. So, yeah. A lot
Wow.
bigger out there.
That's amazing. You really don't get to know your classmates when it's that big.
You know, surprisingly, I know I might not have been as up talking to them, but name recognition from the activities and stuff they do. And yeah, you kind of do, because you start out in 2 different middle schools. And then, so you know everybody from that class, and I had about 100 in that class. And then you come together. So you already know 100 kids.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, but different. I like small.
I do too.
Hard to imagine that big,
Off the record, not with the journal, so to speak. Jared and his wife and little girl went out to Sequim, Washington this weekend for the long weekend. My brother, who's a doctor there, and his family. So they went out there. Well, Mila is just 2, and she counts everybody high. Jared says, boy, talk about different than here. Nobody would say hi back to her. I mean, just in the grocery store even, it's hi, hi, hi. And big crowds.
Even,
Everywhere you
even
went.
a little kid like that.
Even to a little kid, just a cute little kid, But he came home and he said, it was good to go, but it's sure good to come back home.
That's right, it's a different situation.
So did you say 40, Sharon?
No, for kids?
Yeah,
Oh, just shy of 50.
just,
I think like 47, maybe 48.
it's amazing. I graduated from high school here. I've lived the biggest share of my life right here. And in the paper this week was their pictures. I couldn't believe the names I'd never heard before. I mean, where did they come from? What do they do?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I feel like a stranger in my own town.
Yeah, actually, in our little county here, and I came here to get away from the metropolis of West Palm Beach. And when I graduated from high school, I missed the last 2 weeks of high school and all of the privileges. I took Votech sheet metal in the 12th grade, and I was assigned a union apprenticeship 2 weeks before school, and I was cut out of all of it.
Really?
But I got an apprenticeship,
Well, and that was good.
and it worked well for me.
Good.
But the thing, the question, the matter about here in this little town, this little area, 100 miles around Butte, Montana, is planned to be the industrial center of the entire earth.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Because of the while all the power from the coal strip and everything moved, everything's worked around from the center of Butte, Montana, which is the largest boulder batholith on earth. Yellowstone is actually a boulder batholith too, but it's dry, so it's a volcanic. But in a 100-mile radius from Butte, Montana, like a big wagon wheel, there's boulder batholiths all around. We've got 5 of them here,
Well, I was just gonna say, we're within 100 miles of Butte.
and there's 5 of them within a 30-mile radius of here. But anyways, it's a 100-mile radius, and this was done at the turn of the century by the industrialists and what have you.
Huh.
The industrial center of the earth.
Huh. They're not letting that in.
You might as well get all the pleasure you can out of what we got, because it's coming.
That's interesting. Did you have something, Dana, or?
No, I just waiting for Ray.
Oh, okay.
For the Commissioners' Community Update, we had a Board of Health meeting last week, and of course, Elaine, you were at the funeral and had made us aware of that. Franklin unfortunately didn't show at the meeting, and since we are down 1 member, we did not have a quorum. It was rescheduled today for 3 o'clock. However, it didn't get posted on accident, so we're going to get that posted, and I'm wondering if it would work for you two to have it at 3 o'clock on Thursday. We may not have
No.
Fran. Okay,
I have Rocky Mountain on Thursday afternoons.
okay, how about next Monday at 3?
Monday's fine.
Okay, I will let Debbie know, and we will get that posted since it's too late to get it in the paper at this point.
And we're short some people on Rocky right now, and so I feel like you need to be there because of, for a quorum.
Absolutely, and I know it's your passion.
I
So,
love what they do.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
what they do.
there's no reason we can't wait till Monday at 3. We have a variance to discuss. What's hard, and again, you were cleared because of the funeral, but we pulled 5 people out of their jobs to come to a meeting where we couldn't do anything. So it was a waste of time and county money. The other thing is there was that elected officials training with DES, the aftermath of a disaster and how to get your county back on the economic road. That was excellent. My notes and the PowerPoint will be downstairs if you guys want to see those
I do want to see it.
at all. Mike was there, and then commissioners from Gallatin, we had fire district, search and rescue, and commissioners as the elected officials or board members.
Good.
So great turnout. Agency on Aging was also this week. It was one of those weeks of all-day meetings. We're gonna be restarting the micro grants. We just don't know for how much yet, and those are just small little grants for senior centers. They've used those in the past to buy chairs, dishes, that kind of thing. But we're looking at possibly $2,000 per senior center. It's not a lot, but it'll make a dent.
And I understand Charles is gonna retire.
He is, yeah.
That's a loss.
I know, tremendous loss. We had Walter Hanley in our meeting. It was our stakeholders meeting where we hear from all the different agencies that we grant to. And he, of course, gave a spectacular report, but he said, Charles, I'm right behind you. So Rocky's going to be experiencing some change. I understand there's 5 directors that are, at that retirement age. So.
Darn it, darn it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was my week as far as meetings and obligations.
Very good. Thanks for being there.
Yeah, you bet.
I made the LEPC meeting here on Thursday.
From
If we still have a second before our 10:15, Franklin, I'm just wondering about the June 1st meeting. What's up with that? You can explain that to us.
The what?
June 1st, Commissioners meeting?
Tammy mentioned it, anyway, we should have got it in the paper last week, but so I just have to post it. June 1st meeting.
What are we gonna discuss?
Since it's budget season, budget would be a big piece of it. Budgets are due on June 1st, so I don't think it's a meeting we should skip.
No.
Also, the cancellation of the May 20th Wednesday working meeting, that was needed to be posted and it didn't get posted. That's not something we can fool around with. That's open meeting laws. It's legal obligations that we have, Franklin. And a 3x3 note on the courthouse door doesn't cut it. You have to follow the MCA requirements.
Your scheduling is next week then, Dana.
Yep.
You're one, and then there's Doug is gonna be your next, this is June 1st meeting we're talking about. Yours is a
Actually-
public hearing to adopt resolutions to cancel outstanding checks. Okay.
Actually, Franklin, you have a resolution right there to your right. Resolutions can't be posted, they have to be put in the paper per MCA. That needed to go out with your agenda on Friday and it didn't get done. We're now gonna have to postpone Doug by a week. And that resolution's gonna have to be changed to reflect the new dates.
Okay. Okay. And then, also, well, I just follow up on it. Those. And then there's a budget, commission-related budget. That's what's,
Thank you.
It's the county budget and the commission budget. I wrote that in there because we have to talk about some things with the budget.
It's that time of year.
It is.
this will be, instead of June 1st, it'll be June 8th.
On the,
Yeah, so I'm gonna change this right now to 8th. Is there a working meeting for the June 3rd?
and that's budgets.
Okay. Not a little faster. 10:15, IGT funds and decision. Maybe Doug and, oh,
Can I just ask what IGT stands for?
intergovernmental transfer, intergovernmental transfers, right?
Thank you.
Do you have anything on this, Doug, or?
I'm not even sure whether on the agenda, just came up to
Yeah, okay, don't,
hear what was going on, but
these are,
most of our
I just assumed it had, oh, there is okay, this is some, fines and forfeitures. And what's the other is, Department of Justice.
Franklin, the IGT transfers is commissioner business, not clerk and recorder or treasurer at this point. Something we voted on a couple months ago, and your paperwork has been in the mail all week, and it's in your stack there to the left. And it's an action item for the commission.
This is what was in here. This is stuff you just brought?
It's
You're
been in
talking
our
about
mail
that?
all week. Mm-hmm.
I know it never was in the mailbox.
That's not true. It's been in the mailbox all week.
Well, we go through it. Here's from, Fair State Endowment Program.
Excuse me, Franklin, we have an agenda item scheduled for 10:15. Are you just going to skip it on a whim?
I thought this is what we're going on.
we're doing IGT funds dash decision, scheduled at 10:15. The IGT funds paperwork has been in our mailbox for actually over a week, and we need to address that. This is mail, this is Commissioner mail. It's not what is on the agenda for 10:15. If you would like to alter the decision, you need to
Well,
actually
okay,
say
what do
something,
you-
not just skip it.
Other than that, these two items that Doug had evidently sent over,
I'm guessing those are adjusting journal entries.
well, that's what I'm assuming too. So I don't know about what you're talking about on this IGT.
Can we please move to the agenda item on the agenda at 10:15?
It was the IGT.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I don't see anything here for that.
Franklin, it's in your pile. You just had it.
You're talking, this here that you just brought in?
Yes, all that mail has been in our mailbox all week.
Okay, so you want to go through that? That's what I started to do.
Start with the IGT stuff first.
It has to be. That's fair. Department of Health and Human Services. We're gonna have to help around to see which one you want to do with it.
Can we see the stack?
If you go one more, Elaine, I believe it's right underneath. One more. This is paperwork we also saw about a month and a half ago. One more. There you go. Everything in that paperclip. We were sent a letter by DPHHS that said, would you be willing, are you interested? We responded, yes, we are willing and interested. This is the official paperwork to go ahead and follow through with that.
Well, it says right on top in big letters, immediate response requested.
Exactly, and that's why it's on the agenda.
Okay, let's follow up in discussion on this then.
This is something the county's been doing since long before Elaine and I came on the board. It works like all the other IGT funds that we do for mental health, for alcohol, treatment. What it is we send to the state a sum of money, they match it plus and send it back. It is a good deal for us, and the way it works is apparently the more money you send into the state, the higher the match is by the feds.
Trying to see what brought over, I can't remember what brought over. Health center,
This is the hospital.
Mm-hmm. For the nursing home, yeah. And again, it's practice that's been going on since long before you and I came on board. We voted on it, so this is old information, or at least repeated information. But I wanted as much public input as possible. So that's why it's on the agenda.
Okay,
Well,
so,
we need to do it.
well, that's what's, which amount here, this has got these different, what amount did Broadwater County?
The explanations, Franklin, of any spreadsheet are at the top, and you read downward. You read by column with a spreadsheet.
It should be for 4, is there one this year was 14?
The adjusted total state special revenue provided by the county in, let's see, is $85,656.01.
That's the part we give to the state.
Actually, that's the state's match over and above, or the Fed match over and above we would send in 203,000.
13804.
Okay, 13804.
2000. 13804.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna say, I don't remember that number, but since you're looking at it, yeah. And then they match that, and then they send it back to the county.
To go to the hospital.
Right, the match
Hospital
of
or rest home.
86,000 and some.
Yeah.
So I will move, since we've addressed this before, and we've done it before, that we follow through with the IGT funds transfer for the Medicaid match for the nursing home in the sums contained on the spreadsheet.
203, 13804.
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion was made for $203,138.04. Is shown on the spreadsheet.
Yep.
Sent to Department of Public Health and Human Services.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No.
Why, Franklin, when we
passed.
get that money plus $86,000 back, why are you voting no?
We have to, well, I guess there's nothing on here to sign on this one. Who's the liaison for the county?
Imagine it's the chairman. Is it?
What's that?
Who's the liaison for the county? Just says,
Yeah, the commission, so it'd be the commission chairman.
commission. No, that wasn't part of it.
So I have a question
On to Ann then, I guess.
of the chairman. We've done this maybe 3 times a year with different funds. We send money to the state to be matched, and then it comes back that sum plus. Why, let me give that back to Franklin. Why, Franklin, when this money is sent to the state, matched by $86,000 and then sent back to the county, did you vote no?
I can vote the way I want.
In the interest of transparency for our citizens, do you have any answer?
I'll talk with them when they call me. Okay.
Okay, point of order, there's a page here that requests signatures of the commission for this contract, so I'm gonna send this back.
Could read my mind.
I didn't vote for it, so I'm not gonna sign it. It's, everything's passed, so. Send it back on down.
Copper City.
Okay, but, yeah, it's public hearing for Copper City road closure. We'll close this meeting, public meeting on the old Copper City road closure. This time the meeting is closed. Any public comments on the Copper City road closure? This was pretty much, was you gonna explain anything on this, Nicole? It was pretty much all done at one time.
This dated back to February 16 of 1999 is when this process started to close the old Copper City Road. And the reason I'm using old is because there's already a new Copper City Road, which is a county road, donated by Don Schofield, who was the owner of the property at the time. Now Mr. Eugene Goss, who is president today, is the owner of this property. Just want to tie up all loose ends and pretty much close this process that started in February of 1999. All of the public hearings were held at that time, but it was never made official to close the road, so today we just want to make it official.
Did it fall through the cracks or something?
I think so. You know, and maybe Dana knows a little more about this than I do, but just reading through the minutes, it appears that the road was going to close when the new road was constructed. The new road was constructed, but Mr. Schofield never came back to request that final measure be taken by the commission. So that's what I can glean out of the minutes here. But now that Mr. Goss owns all of the property around this road leads only to his property. You know, it was never intended to be a county road once the new Copper City Road was constructed, so.
Right, I was kind of follow-up. I was in the day when Ralph Schofield called, he was talking to Ann at the time. And I talked to him, I took the information to Corey. And that's where we're at now at this point, so. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, that road, you know, in my opinion, this is strictly my opinion, but, you know, it does go through Gene's place. I don't know why Don never did do it, finish it up. Don was one that, he liked to get stuff finished, and why he let this slip through, I have no idea. But, I mean, you know, we constructed that new road, I mean, we grade it, we mow it. Nobody drives up through that place and hasn't since they've had that new easement.
That's because all the rattlesnakes up there.
There's a few. But, you know, so, and I think part of the road's washed out up above there anyway. You know, you can't even get all the way through it anyway, so I mean, in my opinion, it needs to be just taken care of. Get it done.
With no other comment, do you have a quick comment, John?
Being a miner and understanding the 1872 miners' law, that road that was the original road that went to the copper mines was an avenue of access, unclosable.
John?
This new access can close it, and that's the reason it was held up. I sat in on some of the meetings back then.
But there is access to the
But
original Copper City.
Legally mining, it doesn't go, the new road doesn't go to the mine. So that's the reason. And to close it is a violation of the law.
It does go to the mine.
Yeah, I think it does. It's hard to say which is the mine, which is they call Copper City. I've only been in there just a few times. And
If you look at where the claims are, the private claims, because
road.
we had the BLM out there, they GPSed everything to try to clean up a lot of the trash out there. And there's roads accessible to all the mine sites. I mean, the roads run right to where those mine sites were.
Off that new
2 or
easement.
3 claims of it.
that's what I thought it'd be that way. So there's access there, John. So, any other comments?
So did they mine for copper up there then?
I guess.
I don't know.
It's still a viable mining operation.
Well, I can remember about 30 years ago when there was some work to be done. I was up there one time then. But I don't know if anything was shipped then or if it was just, or what, you know, it was like a lot of mines, they only get started, but then what takes place after that, I don't know. But, anyway, if there's no other comments on the Copper City Road, we'll close this public hearing and go back to our regular meeting.
I'll make a motion then that we close Old Copper City Road.
This is another no-brainer vote, I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to close the old Copper City Road. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
I will say in defense of Mr. Schofield, when you watch the process that we go through and all the baby steps, I think it's easy for someone who doesn't understand all those steps to assume that, oh, it's done, it's taken care of. They've had 3 public meetings on this subject already. It's my guess that's what happened. So I'm glad we have officially taken care of this for you.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, that you could answer the question that went to the claims.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
question, 'cause that could have been something in the note, maybe.
Yeah.
Do people go up there and work the mines still?
I've never seen anybody up there. There's a lot of people go out to shoot
Mhm.
guns and
Dump trash.
dump trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, this was probably at least 30 years ago, maybe longer than that. I know this one particular ranch had put some money in there, invested, and so then I was just there with them, maybe up there twice or so like that.
I haven't seen any, it's kind of strip mining or surface mining. There's no real cave or holes. It's all-
Yeah, from what I can.
But there's no
remember.
equipment up there. I haven't seen anybody on the claims. I know there's, the names that are associated with the claims are people from Billings, but
Hmm,
I've never seen anybody back there other than
interesting.
public shooting,
Mhm, mhm.
hiking and stuff like that.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
thank you for making it and explaining it. That was good to have that explained.
Yeah, yeah, you can drive right to all of them. There's roads. People have made their own notes back there too, so,
Yeah.
yeah. But the BLM's, a lot of the trash is on the private claims, because that's where all the buildings are and people are shooting at the buildings and all the mobile machinery, so, we had to figure, the BLM can't clean up the trash on private land, which is crazy, but, so they had to GPS all those claims out and then see
Oh.
where the trash, the public could dump trash to clean it up, so. But at least they got that done.
Mhm.
Is it like a ghost town up there?
Yeah, there's a couple old buildings up there, not a lot, but an old foundation and a couple old buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kinda interesting. It's too bad it's, public's just basically tore the place down, but that's the way it works.
Kinda like Lombard.
Yeah.
You didn't know it was there.
Yeah, that's right,
You
yeah.
don't know.
But we run our cows on that lease too, so, we always get to deal with the public shooting guns when our cows and calves are right over the next hill. We've got a water pipeline that goes through the BLM off of our private land, and they shoot holes in our pipeline, and shoot our stock tanks. It's
Welcome to
interesting.
the crowd.
Yeah, I know, but,
We had a pivot shot the other day.
oh, great, yeah.
Well, I ended up having, we had a sign up on Ridge Road. I've had that sign stole 4 times. Okay, 4 times. So I took a pole up, took the backhoe up, and I stuck this sign, and I kid you not, I bolted everything on, I stuck that sign, and it's 10 feet in the air, 12 feet in the air. That sign's gone.
Oh my word.
The screws are laying down at the bottom of the pole.
Unbelievable.
What do they want to do with it?
So I will tell you, I'm not buying another one. $50 a pop.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'm gonna take a piece of wood up there and I'm gonna put Ridge Road on it and call it good. Paint it on. If they wanna take that, they can have it.
Yeah, it gets to a point where, I mean, you can keep buying signs, but you'll just be throwing more money into that hole.
And I'm not kidding you, I mean, 4 times they've taken that sign.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and if they can't get it off, they run the pole over and they take the pole. And the sign.
What do they want to do with it?
I don't know. Ridge Road's pretty popular, I guess, so. Anyway, I guess we'll call it good.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess that's all there is to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
Thanks,
Okay.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there something other than you guys send something officially, or is it just noted in the minutes and the
You know,
closure?
we could send you a letter. It's noted in the minutes. We could send a copy of the minutes and also.
Yeah, I would like
Chairman
that.
could write you a letter and
Yeah.
let you know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and then you have it for your records.
Yeah, yeah,
I have a question for you.
yeah.
I've been told there's a lot of rattlesnakes up there. Do they bother your cattle?
We've had a few that we think were snake bites. It's hard to tell sometimes when they get lame, but we've killed quite a few snakes up there. It's pretty snaky.
We used to kill quite a few up there on the Old Town Road.
Yeah, we got them down on Old Town by the gravel pit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Snakes just scare me.
Yeah, I don't like them either, but.
you scare your kid too.
Oh,
They
man.
do scare my kid too.
All right.
In fact, all 4 of them.
You too.
I guess we can go through mail from there.
Yeah, here's a couple claims. This is the one on, Carbondale Silos of water testing. Need the signature.
TJ said they were doing some road work up there one day.
What's that?
TJ said they were up there in Copper City doing some road work, and he got out of his grader or whatever, and you could hear this. He said it was just alive with snakes. And he's like his mother, he's scared to death of them.
When I went to put flags on Winston Cemetery, when I finally found it, that made me leery the whole time I was there. I was glad it was kind of rainy, because I figured, oh, that won't be out.
Oh, yeah.
We did some haying up above Regensburg one year. And of course, bale hay at night to get better quality hay. I used to, if I sheared a pin, I hated to get out and have to fix that for fear of a snake.
Yeah, some of the red registers, pretty sneaky, all right, too. They have claims here in the amount of $30,935.85.
And will we pay those approved claims and that stated sum?
I'll second the motion.
Motion made second, pay claims, a total of $30,935.85. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Here's a copy of the letter sent to the Department of Administration, State Information Technology Service Division. Broward County has moved to a new ISP provider and will be terminating our Summit Net connection as of July 1st, 2015. Please prorate your bill to that date and send a final bill so we can ensure a seamless transition and payment of your bill in full. We appreciate the productive work relationship we had in the past. Thank you.
Very good.
That was addressed last week. And you can see it's just a
It's
copy.
yeah.
Right, we don't need to address it every week. It was voted on and sent last week.
We have one for, billed for $618 for heat ambulance building extension office. There's a signature.
So we need this as a motion in the minutes to come out of Pilt. I'll make a motion that we pay Northwest Energy out of Pilt funds for the electric heat for the ambulance building for the extension office services for April of 2014.
I will second the
Move
motion.
second for motion to pay the services of the ambulance building out of Pilt in the sum of
$618.01.
$618.01. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Dana was here. This is from Century Lake, a certified letter. Apparently, the road crew doing some work on Meridian Road at the culvert. Tore out a buried cable. It doesn't say the damage amount and the date. It's 5/11/2015 apparently.
There's not an amount there?
And they don't have an amount on here, but unless something else has come in.
We share that road with Jefferson County too. Does that have anything stated on it about Jefferson County and the road share agreement?
No, it doesn't. It just says Broward County. Let's see. Yes, it investigation, I'll read a little above it. Please advise that CenturyLink facility sustained damage as a result of a negligent act or omissions by employees or agents of Broadwater County. Investigation has revealed that on or about 5/11/2015, employees or agents of Broadwater County was doing culvert excavation and damaging CenturyLink lavin pair buried cable in the area of 200 South on Meridian Road, Three Forks, Montana.
Well, I think it should be given to Dana.
Dana, yeah.
Yeah, to put on the claim.
Yeah, and, you know, he can follow up with Jefferson County, because he'll know what area of the road that is.
What was that? Yeah, this box. Yes, I see.
Do we have minutes there?
Okay, just 1 second. Minutes dated May 18, 2015. Any additions or corrections to those?
And did you get the, okay.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of May 18th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, accept the minutes of May 18, 2015. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. This is what time to finish the game. It's public review and comments on the following items. Non-game checkoff work plan, 454 hunting access agreements, 2015 fall upland bird game quotas, 2015 for bear harvest quotas, wolf regulations and land overtake quota, common trail line. Anybody interested? This is something of the wolves for sure. Maybe individuals. Here's a letter from Val to the court, your commissioners, and they're requesting an additional 1/2 time clerk in my office and would like to know exactly what it would cost to do so. Our workload is so that we are having difficulties keeping up with our filings, indexing, and other aspects of our job. I would gladly meet with you to discuss this matter at any time. Thank you for your consideration, Valerie. I guess the thing is to just get
Put it on the
her
agenda.
and get it on the agenda, yeah, and have her bring her information.
That would be a good one for a working meeting to have, just a frank discussion and have it in the following Monday decision.
Well, is Aubrey full-time or is she 4 days a week?
Full-time, she works 4 10s.
Oh, okay. Do you want to get a hold of her and set up
Yeah.
a meeting? Excellent. Do you have something this Wednesday?
Tomorrow, that we have that training, Franklin, that letter should go to Ann, so that she has it for the minutes. We have that training on the health insurance, I'm gonna send that back to Franklin. There's the, county commissioners training on the, APACA, which is the Affordable Care Act, and I'm not sure what all the letters stand for. That's tomorrow all day in Lewistown. We've reserved the car.
I can't go tomorrow.
I know you're busy, yeah. And that's fine, I can take notes for you. As long as, you know, we have a show from the county of a couple of commissioners and payroll, that should be
Mhm.
fine.
I think that you're gonna learn a lot of things.
Yeah,
None of us had any idea that's coming up with this health stuff.
absolutely, and the time to learn it is before, not after.
Exactly.
The last thing we wanna do is, you know, do something wrong and have a claim against the county, or make a mistake and have, you know, the feds come down on us, so it'll be a good thing, it's important, very
It's very
important to
important.
the county. And it's our job, you know,
Here's a list of appointees to different boards. I agree with Laura's signed a minority and voted on these.
I think they just
We-
need to sign.
I don't think we have to read them off again, just,
You need to sign them all.
yeah, and I'll let you sign them. I'll get to them. Let's see. Tennis Contractors Association. I'll just put this down in the commissioner room.
excuse me, that is part of the commissioner's mail, it needs to go through the process. Even though it's just advertising, it still needs to be recorded in the minutes and shared with the public. It's
And
transparency.
you can take it down there for yourself. And just, I don't know what I'm all for contract association, just send out some information. Just say, the bumper sticker and a couple other things.
My understanding is Susie Hamel was excited to make a composition.
Cool, good. That's a good board. We have a lot of good boards.
Yeah, we
Good
do.
board members. Did receive a call this morning regarding mosquitoes, speaking of boards, and people in town are starting to see mosquitoes, so I'll be following up with John Semple as soon as I have some time, probably at our lunch break.
So how come they're so slow? They've been at my house for quite a while.
Have they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, we need to make sure that John is on those.
DEQ notice, it's, Hart K Land and Cattle Company out of Livingston, and it's some water permits and stuff they're gonna do on the Yellowstone River.
Yeah, keep you busy typing.
You know, Nicole did all those. But yeah, she did a good job, and she's been doing a good job with the boards. Gonna actually get the advertisement out for the investment board, this week.
There needs to be somebody from the school on that too.
What we'll do is put down the qualifications required by each person, and then solicit, applications for each of those positions, and then work with Doug on selecting who for each. Should be a fun process.
Here's a letter from the fair board. They're requesting some tilt funds for the well at the fairgrounds.
What do they think it's gonna cost?
The total is, they're for $11,717.
How much is rodeo club paying?
What's that, Elaine?
How much is the rodeo club paying?
I don't know. I don't know if it says here. Outreach for public. I ran this letter on behalf of the Bridgewater County Fair Board and the Bridgewater Fair and Rodeo Association, also known as the Towns Rodeo Club or Rodeo Club. I met with you for October 15, 24 to discuss the need for a new well for the Bridgewater County Fairgrounds, which is owned by the city of Townsend, Bridgewater County, and is leased by the Rodeo Club. Our discussion ended with the agreement to use current PILT funds to drill a new well, with the entire commission voting in favor. The funds that had been set aside from the Bear Gulch fire were used to remodel the restrooms and purchase a more in 2009, and the agreement to use PILT funds for the new well. Our discussion included the total cost, depending upon all factors, would range from $7,000 to $10,000, and a letter with the request would be sufficient. My job after we was to get a bid from A10 Drilling. Mark Twain, owner, had done several tests of the current well to determine the feasibility of repairing the current well with no avail. Mark and I had several discussions, and then he submitted a bid based upon the well being classified as a public use well. That being said, he went on to tell me that in order to be compliant as a public use well, we would have to install a new pressure tank that was above ground in a house, in a well house. A10 Drilling submitted their bid based upon the public use well. The bid is $8,240. The Rodeo Club asked Danny Stubendick, owner of Tri-Rivers Carpentry and Construction, to submit a bid for the well house to be built over the current underground well house. His bid is $34.77.
Where are they gonna set it?
I assume right next to the, well, oh, you mean the building? I don't know. I don't know for sure where the well is. See the drawing up here.
Well, the current well is sitting right by the restrooms.
Right. It's in the front of mine, isn't it? Or I mean to the east, I think.
No,
Is it on the west side? I can't.
I think it's on the south side,
Oh,
I
in
think.
between there and the 4-H building.
No, the other way. South. South of the concession stand. Between the
Oh.
restrooms?
Oh, okay, is that the senior concession stand, or I mean bleachers you're talking about?
No?
No, you're talking about the concession stand itself.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of people from these boards
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
We had pretty much agreed to do this for the, it doesn't say that the rodeo clubs will put anything in at all, I think. I guess they're just figuring it's up to the, I don't know, if the city, should they be asking part of it? The city, county,
They won't. Or, I shouldn't say that. They haven't in the past. But part of me says the rodeo club ought to have to pay for part of it. Because those horses are being watered out there because of the well. Our wonderful horses, our herd. And then they also have a bunch of roping steers out there in the back pasture that are pumping water. And then the rodeo stock will come in and they'll pump water. And the horses will still be there.
So you think we should contact the rodeo club?
Well, that's just my opinion, you know. Let me read this a minute first, and then I'll tell you.
What's that?
Let me read this a second,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you.
John, you have,
What is wrong with the well that they have now? And if it's bad, is it low water, bad quality, and what have you? Is there an explanation of what's wrong with the well?
don't remember what they said that time. Is it a combination of sand and on the Casey? I'm not sure.
And it's not good water.
And the water itself is contaminated. So I'm assuming this new one will be, completely different location,
I would think so, because it's too close to the bathrooms.
Are the wells less than 100 feet away from the drain fields and septic tanks?
I don't know that, John.
I don't know, I think so. I don't know for sure on this.
No, but that is a very viable problem that can't be fixed easily.
Okay, we'll get back behind our agenda a little bit at 11 o'clock. Public health market adjustment / decision.
Is Linda coming over?
No, she met with us last week or the week before. And so we just had to put it on the agenda in order to discuss it and actually make a decision. I think I gave you the paperwork last Monday that she had brought to us.
Yes. He has to have a state permit and plans to build a well house over that?
I think there's, oh, probably should because that's, it's a public well, so. See, the pressure tank would be located in there.
My goodness.
Mhm. What do you guys think?
It was up to you, if you don't think about asking the rodeo club, but usually the owner or landlord furnishes the well, so.
I guess that falls to us then, doesn't it?
I think, yeah, the only one is if the city would go on it.
Against my better judgment, I'll make a motion that we take money from Pelt to put in a new well.
Is that for the total sum, which would be about 11,000? I will second that.
In the second, we spent money to pay for the new well out at the fairgrounds at approximately $11,000.
Actually, the motion should have the full amount, Franklin. 11,717, should have over there.
$11,707.
717.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion passed.
This one is an easy vote for me. For the record, I would oppose going to the city for this because they have so much less operating funds than we do, so many less opportunities to actually address these kinds of capital improvements. We also have a PILT fund, which we've defined as for capital improvements, so it makes sense that that's where it would come from. If it was your opinion to go to the rodeo club, I would support that certainly, but yeah, this is an easy vote for me. Franklin, since you're writing all those other letters from this morning, I would be more than happy to write this letter to these guys if you guys want, unless somebody else wants to do it.
Go for it.
I'm not writing any letters.
What about Mr. Goss? I thought you were going to let him, he wanted a letter in the minutes, so that he had some documentation that that road was closed?
Well, I guess I can send a copy of the minutes, that's all I'll do.
To be more professional, it really should have a letter with the minutes. It really should. Okay. Public health market adjustment decision. What do we know there?
Linda came forward, well, you know what, I'll let the chairman share what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, she brought the, adjustments from the different areas, and things like that. I think you got a copy of that, I think, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And supported, and she was in full support of these two persons that work for her and will be taking over. She's retiring out.
Does she think one of them will take it?
Yes, I don't remember which one it is. Is it Misty?
Misty's been there the longest.
There's still a public process we'd have to follow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. What's everybody's thoughts?
You know? It's quite a bit for one jump, I think, but we went along with them other market adjustments, so it's
How much was the jump?
$3 an hour,
4.
$4. It's a pretty healthy jump.
Yes.
In my opinion, each market adjustment needs to be looked at individually, not because we did it before for someone else, we have to do it now. Each one is a standalone decision by
Yeah.
this board. I think that, based on a lot of different factors, and one is we've just started the budget season, that at this point, what we should do is let Linda know, but I think it should be tabled along with all the other budget requests that we'll be getting the next couple of months. And we should make a decision when we know what our mill values are worth, what the general fund looks like. This isn't a standalone budget, it's part of the general fund, so they're with every other, like department, clerk and recorder, commission, county attorney. We got that letter from Val, requesting another position. We need to put all those together and look at the big picture, not address just little pictures on a whim, because we did it before. So I would suggest that we table it, put it with the rest of the budget, and let Linda know.
I would second
The
that.
status.
I think that makes sense.
You say, that was your motion, you seconded it.
I don't think there needs to be a motion at this point.
Just discussion, I guess that we're gonna table this till, and put it in with the rest of the budget reviews.
You'll need to do a letter to Linda, letting her know that. We're not ignoring it, that we're just waiting.
This is a request from DEQ on Hart, land and cattle company, or some water and so on the Yellowstone River. If anybody's interested in that, making a comment.
Is Sean coming today?
Sean is not, but Jeremy is. We'll possibly have Drew Pearson as well.
There's a letter from Aaron Foley from the Teamsters, near Broadwater County. I just want to check in with whoever is conducting this year's negotiations. From what I understand, in the past, commissioners or hired attorney was in charge of setting up dates to negotiate. I have not heard from anyone on dates for negotiations per the contract Article 16, termination and renewal. If such notice was given, negotiations shall commence within 30 days of the date said notice received. I sent the notice on April 28th. Please let me know what the plan is for your team and who I should address for negotiations. Thanks. Aaron Foley, Teamsters Union Safety. Corey, you maybe have an answer to that.
We've scheduled an initial meeting for the county team, and I communicated back, I saw Erin last week, and then I communicated back to her, told her that we had scheduled the meeting, and that we would be able to set dates probably at that meeting and get back to her. So that meeting, I think, is for this Thursday, is that right? And so by the end of the day, I could send her a notice, or a note back with our dates that we expect to do that.
Okay, so this is Thursday. Have you got a time for it yet?
10 a.m., does that sound right? 10 a.m. in the jury room.
Yeah, because what I saw, there was no date definite. It said it's probably Thursday, but no time. Okay, it's 11:15. Corey, County Attorney, Sean Hidley from WWC Engineering, Rob Cullen, Architect, Ryan Hopkins, Mako Legal Counsel, Mike Myers, County Maintenance. Search and Rescue Building update.
Okay, are we waiting for more people then? 'Cause-
I'd say go ahead and get started. they're not here,
Do
so.
you-
We have two engineers from WWC, Jeremy Thadness and Drew Pearson, and Ron Cullen, the architect.
Is Brian
That-
coming?
Who?
Brian Hopkins?
Miko.
Oh, Brian, no. The email that he sent on Monday, I forget what day now. He will not be coming himself, but he is available for a conference call and is keeping this time period open for us if we need to call him.
Okay.
He thought we were well in hand.
Go ahead and start, Corey.
Well,
Franklin, if
I
you
guess
pass
that's the
that
question, are we
letter for
waiting
Ann?
on an engineer to show up? Do we need to call somebody to find out?
I think you are.
I would prefer to wait for the engineers and the architect.
So do we know, I mean, they know this time,
They do, yes.
they're just not here.
You might got caught in construction.
Is there construction this way?
No, but there is the other way.
Well, that comes from Helena, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So did you get the fire hall all done, Mike?
What's that?
Did you get the fire hall all done?
Well, as far as the bid goes, we're done with it, but now they decided we have to sheet rock it. Even after it went through 3 sections of permitting and plan reviews, when the electrician guy come in, he said, oh, you have to sheet rock it because if you leave the building exposed without core bonding it, you don't have to sheet rock it, but if you core bond it, then you have to sheet rock it. Even though it's the same flash point as the wood is, so now we're just gonna get a bunch of guys together this weekend to sheet rock it, then it'll be done.
Now, what is the size of that, refresh my memory?
40 by 50 with 14-foot side, it's 14-foot frame walls and a 1-foot stem wall inside. And it has 2 12-foot doors and 1 man door.
That'd be a nice addition up there.
Yeah, they can actually park their trucks in there.
Tremendously needed, no question about it.
Overdue.
Yeah.
Now, it's not connected to the other one at all, it's completely separate, isn't it? Or is there a breezeway between?
No, they're not connected at all, because if you connect them, then you have to bring, that one has to be the ADA code, the same as the other one.
Oh,
So you have to pretty much keep them separate. We do have a man door, and we're probably gonna put a man door on the side of that other building so we can go right straight between
mhm.
them. But there's no connection between the buildings.
How old is the other building?
What's that?
How old is the other building?
I believe early 60s. I'm not real positive.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, maybe older than that. Yeah.
Well, we're in kind of holding pattern. I have a question on this claim for the silos for the testing of the water. Franklin, did you clarify that it was all for the silos? Or is there a chance that part of this is for the fairgrounds?
I know you said silos on there, but I saw it.
You were gonna clarify that last week. I would like to get a affirmative that this is indeed just for the silos before we pay it out of their account. If it is split with the fair, I think it needs to be a split bill. Is there any objection to that?
Makes sense. Did you guys see the news this morning down in Houston, the water?
Oh, yeah.
I feel so bad for those people.
This is another question. Franklin, you have a couple of copies of that from last week. Does 1:30 work for you guys for a meeting with Michelle?
Today?
Yeah.
Yep.
She tried to email you, Franklin, and call you. I don't know if you guys were able to speak or not. Jenny?
Okay, 1:30 today, would be.
Hi, Ron.
Right.
If you get an affirmative from both of you, I'd be happy to let Michelle know.
I'm fine with that. I gotta go get lunch because I gotta go with the fire. I didn't have something back here.
Would 2 o'clock work better for you?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Whichever works best for you guys, I'm fine.
Okay, we got down here 1:30 then.
Okay, so you're an affirmative as well, Franklin? Okay.
She here downstairs.
Where we gonna meet?
Actually, maybe in our office, how's that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Because being as it is about personnel.
Yeah, it's closed door,
Mm-hmm.
which will have to be called by the chair.
Yeah.
Tell Corey that everybody's here now.
I think so.
Mike Delta.
Okay, Corey, well.
Are you ready for us?
You want me back?
Well, should we all sit up at the table, or what do we wanna do here?
Yeah,
You guys wanna do that? Come on. Overwhelm you with our charm.
What's your name?
What'd you do?
Just into the table, just now to feel the whole table rock. That was mine.
I'll pass around a little deal, and this is a discussion, this is not a legal opinion, because I'm still doing more research on architecture stuff, and I'll probably rely on well, everybody but me for more of that, but. So generally, what I can tell you at this point is of the status of the search and rescue building moving from here to completion. I guess we could just run through these. The first one will be really quick. So
Sure.
the first one is the whole issue of request for proposal versus an invitation for bid. I think we're all tracking on that we have an invitation for bid ready to go, and that's the correct terminology. So we can skip to the next one. Engineering, and feel free to jump in at any point you want to talk about engineering, but as I understand it, we've done the county engineer's done the review of the whole site. I don't know if everyone's seen those drawings, but they're available, and that they'll also be available for all the people who want to put in bids. You want to add anything to that?
We've updated them slightly with a few things. We've added a fire hydrant, and we took out the fill station out of the plans, and a few things like that. We're working through the DEQ submittal stuff, so we've updated the plans for the DEQ stuff.
Why did you take the fuel station out?
I believe the cost. It was too costly at this point, so we're planning for it for the future. We're gonna have the service there, so that in the future, if you wanted to add it later, you can construct it, the service will be there, and it'll already be approved by DEQ. But we're just not gonna construct it right now. So we'll probably just show it on the plans of the future fill site too.
I was just curious.
Yep, yeah, I believe it was cost.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at a couple different ways of doing it.
And so currently how do we currently fill those fire trucks? And that's basically who's using it, correct?
No, just the
No.
weed chemical.
Oh, just the weed?
Yeah,
Okay.
they use a city fire hydrant right now
Okay.
to fill the trucks.
And this, as I think I heard from the city discussion, right now, they're not metering or charging county for that, is that right?
Correct.
And that's something they're considering changing, is that accurate?
That's what we would do with the fill station, is add it would be a metered service.
Okay.
Yep.
So if we don't go forward with that, the city may say, okay, it's time to start metering the county on that.
Which, and you can do that, you can just get a meter that goes on a fire hydrant. I know contractors do it all the time. When they have projects within the city, they just put a meter on a fire hydrant. So if it does come to that, then we could accommodate that fairly easy.
So what kind of cost are we talking about for that?
Those meters are probably in the range of $2,500, $2,000 to $2,500 for a simple meter like that, for that
But-
size.
So in this though, the change where you're saying we're gonna do the fill station later, and you said cost was the driving factor, so how much for that construction, for that portion of this project?
I don't remember how much.
24,000 almost.
Yeah,
$24,000?
was the fill station.
Okay.
It is spendy.
And Mike, you were gonna be investigating options that could be less expensive, right?
With Sean and stuff, we were gonna look at some different options.
So hopefully that's.
And we are putting a
fine.
fire hydrant on the new water main. The
Mhm.
city is requesting a fire hydrant on the new main to service the buildings. And so we could also look at maybe just putting a meter on that fire hydrant so that the county can use that fire hydrant that you'll be installing with the project. So that's an option too.
Yeah, so he doesn't really need overhead fill for his.
So we could maybe even just put maybe a meter on that fire hydrant line or something too. Something like that.
Is that the only use of that fill station is county weed?
And I think mosquito.
Mosquito doesn't mix their chemicals, is my understanding.
Okay.
It could be used for fire, I suppose, in the future, or if, as needed. But yeah, for right now, I think it's just weed, isn't it?
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
So then the updated drawings, are they currently available, or are you still
Yes.
doing? They
Yeah.
are. When we say they're available, how are they available, like to the public or the bidders?
Yeah, whenever they get out, whenever the invitation goes out, we can provide them to whoever asks for
But we don't have them we don't have them in Doug's office that people can go down and look at them?
it. We can, we will, once the invitation's out.
Okay.
Yep.
So, in terms of the engineering site, all the work prior to that, this meets, as I understand it, this meets our basically pre-engineering obligations, and now we're in the question of architecture, and so, and we talked quite a bit on, was it Friday night?
Friday afternoon.
After business hours,
Yeah.
I called him and left a message, and he called back, and so, do you wanna just maybe talk through the general architecture stuff that we talked about in general? I mean, to begin with, the statute says for a public building that the drawings have to be approved by an architect. The question is, when in the process that happens, and there's kind of two different ways to do that, so I'll let you, if you wanna just address the commission on that part, it'll be more accurate than if I try to do it.
The traditional method, which is not the method you've elected to do, okay, is you select an architect, he designs the building, or his firm designs the building, and they put together a set of construction documents. Now, with that construction documents includes instructions to bidders, bid documents, bonding requirements, and this kind of thing. And just FYI, I brought you an example of one of those. Okay? It's pretty extensive in the sense that it defines all the terms as well as puts down now. It's an expensive process. In addition to that, this accompanies the drawings that you're accustomed to seeing in this process. And it takes time, a lot of time, to put it together. So the traditional way is you retain an architect, you work with them through the process of design, what your requirements are and what you want. They design the building, and we do a set of construction documents, and we send it out to bid. And we take on the responsibility of putting out these documents. We collect the bids, we award the bids at your authorization, and we follow through on construction right up to and final, and as an old partner of mine used to say, right up putting beer in the refrigerator, okay? So, we follow through on that. There's also a warranty period that goes with that process. That's a short of a traditional method. The statutes are pretty clear on what that method is during the traditional phase. And when you take a look at that, I brought 3 examples if you want to look at them. One is public, one is federal, and one is private, okay? But they're all using public money, every one of them. Depending on your public money source, they may require you to go to this process, or they may not require it. In these instances, it was required to retain an architect or an engineering. Now, these include not just architecture, but mechanical, electrical, structural, civil, the whole package. Okay. Now, if WWC were to put one of these out, they'd have the same document in this nature. Okay. Now, this is all predicated upon the size of the project. The statutes are clear about different sizes of the project and when you can just award a project, or when you can have to put out a set of construction documents and put out a bid, and so forth. There are different stages, different phases. The size of your project is in excess of the 80,000 threshold. So you need to put it out to bid. Doesn't necessarily require this kind of a document. I'm just stating that that's what it is. Okay. Another step is similar to what you've taken. You knew what you wanted, you went out after project, and really the only fault that I can see here is that the language in the bid needed to be written just a little differently. Because instead of a proposal, you should have said bid, invitation bid, the invitation for proposal. There were some things that we did not include, like bonding requirements, and payment bonds, those kinds of things, which there's some good examples that I can give you. There's some things about doesn't need to go to a low bidder. If you wanted a preference for a local bid to be the recipient, then it has to be stated in the bid document. And sometimes that's a requirement of the funding source, and sometimes the funding source does not allow that. They want to open it up to the whole package. So what you've done so far is, I think, a fairly straightforward approach and an acceptable approach. We just need to redo that. As you just stated, Corey, you've reported that bid document already. So,
And one way to do that too, and get all those requirements in there, would be to not only have the invitation to bid, but also have a bid form and a instructions to bidder that would be handed out to each bidder when they request it. So we'll include that in the invitation bid, and that instructions to bidders would outline bonding requirements, would outline who is responsible for permits. Are they responsible for building permits, or is the county doing building permits?
who provides insurance?
Insurance requirements,
Okay.
those types of
Who
things.
holds whose harness? Okay, all those kinds of things are spelled out in that.
And those,
instruction to bidders.
and we have lots of examples of those are usually included in the bigger document with the specs for the
Which
project.
they are.
But we can pull those out and modify those for something like this to include with the invitation.
Corey asked me, what are the pros and cons of the two methods? Well, one of the pros of the method that you use is it's a little faster and less expensive. And because your project is not large by comparison to many projects, it's a reasonable approach to take. The con of that is you're not going to have as much specifics stated in your bid documents that you might have in one of these. And so what you're getting is not necessarily what you're dictating, is what the contractors provide. And they provide product in a manner in which they feel it was defined. So if you